Hi guys, I'm Moe Thurimella, Managing Director at Blackwater Tech, and I welcome you to this construction workshop. I'm excited to share some very interesting findings that popped up on our research study so far on how to take business operations to the next level. We successfully executed about 100 digital transformation projects for our clients, and then we found one common issue that's been surfacing across all the business operations, which is cash flow. It is a complex subject, and there are many reasons behind it. But we found something that can be hacked. It is within reach. Let me lay it out to you through this presentation and let me know what you think. Just a quick overview about us. We are technology consultants. We help companies on the path for mergers and acquisitions to boost business valuation figures. The objective of this workshop, minimizing payment delays, mainly from a construction industry point of view. To analyze this further, we first look at why there are payment delays in the construction industry, what can be done to manage the causes, and how we can use tech to help with management. Let's have a quick look at what are the main reasons behind construction industry payment delays. Number one, we saw payment queries. So whenever there is a project in flight and there is a timesheet entry or there is a weekly update that is being shared with the client, there are questions coming back and forth, and these questions, answering them usually takes quite a bit of time. So payment queries here, what we see is the underlying factor is that various team members are unable to trust their understanding of the project stage. Everybody's not on the same page. When payment queries are raised, or any other questions are raised across the project, the response time increases. So what we mean by that, to respond to a question or an email, we might need to go consult with a bunch of colleagues or look at a few documents and then respond to the customer. This back and forth is consuming time. Another reason we found is manual processes. When all different team members are operating with independent documents, issues such as duplicate data entry, different portions of data being stored in different systems, and not every team member is looped in on changes in the project, mainly because some people are busy in the execution, they are occupied in the nitty-gritty, and when they dial back and look at the big picture, only then they're going to be able to find out the changes that are coming in at a high level. So keeping everybody looped in is a challenge. This results in time being taken away to generate alignment. Team members are unable to trust that they have full information without consulting with everybody else. Another reason is workplace disputes, conflicts. So conflicts are usually due to misalignment in understanding of situations. Having the right info within reach allows team members to align quickly, reducing need for escalation further. Due to incompleteness of this information available within reach for the team, they're not able to rely on input shared by other members. They always feel like they need to double check, confirm, and verify. Another issue we found is compliance related. So changes in project arising due to safety and legal requirements need to be applied to the project. Information relating to these aspects need to be at fingertips, as queries relating to these could hold up the project at various stages from progressing in full velocity. Second guessing decisions when risk is high is due to incompleteness of information available or not being able to trust the information available. Similarly, we have one more reason, which is supply chain delays. So supply chain delays right now with shifting global landscape, especially if product or stock needs to arrive from overseas, there's uncertainty in terms of how fast or how much of a delay there is going to be. For those kind of scenarios, it is best to know as soon as we can find out so that we can reduce impact on time and spend. The last one here on the list is the late payment culture. Throughout the industry, people have adjusted to the complexities of payment and operations. People in construction industry are understanding, they're accommodating. It's become their nature now. This is how converted into a characteristic of the industry culture, which can only be resolved when there are enough players in the market who are able to fix it their end. Knowing bold changes are affordable, business leaders can move aggressively by making bold moves. Have a look at this picture here. This used to be my background growing up. Would you trust that there is a date on this screen? This picture kind of reminds me of how I feel currently data is stored across organizations, especially in the construction industry. Okay, it's a cool screen, it's a cool system, it's a cool background, but when you need it, how easily can you find it? The date on the picture is 9th of September 2012, in case you didn't find it. So, summarizing everything that we talked about so far, the common denominator, what I see is trust. So, trust, people are not able to trust information being passed around. People are not able to trust the document quality that is being sent to them. At every single point in time, people are trying to confirm, trying to verify. And I think that is one of the main reasons why we're seeing payment delays. Now, trust can be looked at from various different levels across the market, especially legal industry and conflict management scenarios. Trust has been analyzed from three different points of view. One is at a personal level, and then there's interpersonal level, which is at a team level dynamic, and then an organization level. To summarize the whole issue here, we see trust across business operations is not as high as we want it to be. Documents, people are looking at various exchanges of information, and they're not able to trust what they're seeing, so they're trying to verify and confirm. In this world of rapid change, the need for reliable information to make confident decisions has never been greater. Trust is important for relationships. It also drives how well people work together. Here's a quick snapshot from a research that was published by a company called Ipsos. What they found was, on an average, 70% of the people in the world have not agreed with the statement, "Most people can be trusted." In UK alone, the average is about 60%. The market conditions also show degradation of trust at both personal level and also interpersonal level. There's a ripple effect in degradation of trust at team and organization level. Solving the trust problem, I believe, is key to unlock growth and efficiency at all levels of the organizations. There are three different perspectives here. One is viewing trust from an individual point of view, viewing trust from a team point of view, and also organization point of view. And the research was showing that when trust in the organization deteriorates, the individual relies on trust within the team. And when this also fails, the individual is set to operate in self-interest, which may not be in line with the vision and the mission of the team or organization. Collaboration dynamics affect outcomes. Specifically, these dynamics include individual and group level actions that contribute to shared motivation, principled engagement, and joint capacity for action. Which is why, to create an efficient team, it is important to solve the problem of trust between the team, interpersonal level, and also at the org. What is the result of creating trust? Now, by solving for this trust problem, here's what we were able to identify, or here's what the research is able to suggest that we're going to be able to achieve. Number one, there's going to be an increase in speed in decision making. There's higher productivity, higher employee satisfaction, less burnout, and low cost of operations overall. How do we do this? So we've seen how trust is important to solve the problem of payment delays, how trust operates, and how do we create trust. So to create trust, here are the requirements. Number one, we need transparency across business operations. So everybody knows, everybody is in alignment with the point of the journey they are in. They're able to know the changes that are coming, and they understand when some unusual steps are being included into the process. They understand that we're trying to compensate for some changes uh, from other areas of the business, or we're trying to improve the operations overall with a newer strategy. Number two, consistency. When people see that we are able to deliver quality, everybody has delivered something accurately again and again, people tend to trust other players who are working with them within this operations. Clear expectations. It's basically having the right destination in mind, and they know everybody else is traveling with them to the same spot. A positive track record. If people are able to see that their colleagues are able to consistently stick with they're carrying out a positive step every single time, trust is also going to be increasing. Challenge stress. When people are making a change, it's a new set of challenge that comes in, and people are able to take it on board as and when they have the situation come through. The next item on the list here we have is inducing of challenge stress. So whenever people are being challenged to pick up something new, which is a change within their existing ways of working, that creates a challenging opportunity to upgrade. Then another requirement here is being able to intentionally build relationships. Whenever there are situations where people are getting isolated because their work is quite isolating, meaning to say if it is quite individual way of working, they would not have the opportunity to engage with other people. They would not be able to see the quality of input the other people are able to produce, which makes things a bit difficult in terms of creating the trust. So intentionally, if they're able to build trust, they're going to be able to grow that across the team, across the organization overall. Another requirement here is to be able to facilitate whole person growth. So if the organization or the team dynamic or the interaction, every single movement, every single task that is associated with the project is able to facilitate the whole person growth. Construction business process from a general industry standardization point of view, here are some of the steps. One is to do with pre-construction, and then there's the construction project execution, and then finally post-construction process. Now, having a standardized business process in line with the industry standard generates many benefits, which is the reason why we recommend standardizing the business process in line with everybody. In a regular construction industry, there are three main stages. One is pre-construction, construction, and post-construction. I do understand that many businesses tend to have their own way of working, mainly because of a system or a method they are used to or that has worked for them individually. But there are benefits to having a standardized construction process, like a business process. Standardizing business process in line with the industry standardizes the output that people are able to generate. As a result, you can see that it is going to become easier to onboard new staff because anybody you pick from the market is exposed to the standard business process and they're easily able to integrate with your business operations. Overall, when it comes to mergers and acquisition scenarios, organizations that have a standardized process are easy to integrate with the company that is acquiring them, which is why the companies that have standardized processes are much more favorable to larger companies who are trying to acquire them, or also situations where business valuation figures are being produced. The ones that have standardized business processes tend to score higher when compared to the ones without standardized business processes. Looking at the project stages or the business process stages, Pre-construction stage deals with the scoring of the project, the tenders, leads, quotes, contact requirements, and also procurement side of things. Project execution itself, this is where contractor management is being covered off, project tracking, timesheets, and control. Post-construction, we're looking at site management, accounting, and other record management. In some cases, depending on the size of the project, there are other additional stages, say, for example, customer support, wherein you're following up for payments for maintenance or any ongoing post-project deliverables. There's also case management and communications, because if there is a warranty or an SLA in place, then there is a service agreement that is going to be, and we need to make sure every single customer support request that is coming through is with. Uh, just to give you a quick recap up until this point, we looked at what is causing payment delays, and we were able to identify the correlation between trust and payment delays. We looked at how trust can be solved and what is required to create trust. We also looked at what is required to create trust. When it comes to systems point of view, there is a method that I was able to use successfully over the past 15 years, which kind of played out well so far. I'm going to give you a quick view of what that looks like. What you're looking at on the screen right now is a screenshot from a popular system out there, which is called Microsoft Dynamics. So Microsoft Dynamics, or Power Platform as they call it right now, one of the advantages of the system is that it is built by Microsoft, and it is built on a standardized model, which is called the common data model. Now, this common data model is what is being utilized by other industry players, such as OpenAI. There's also Adobe, SAP, Hewlett Packard. So many big organizations across the world, they came together and they said, we agree that this is how we're going to build systems together. So the main reason behind that is, if everybody follows a standardized way of producing software, connecting all the software becomes a plug and play kind of simple task rather than having a big integration project. From the standardization point of view, what you're looking at on the screen here is, this is the standard layout where you see all the leads. So all the lead information, all the opportunity information, all the contact information in one single structure. Now, this structure is consistently repeatable. At Blackwater Tech, what we also do is there are different levels of audit we have in place. Whenever there are positive experiences coming from every single user, we're able to highlight those by flagging all the good. I want to show you a quick snapshot of how we attempted to create trust through design from a system point of view. On my screen right now, you have a screen which is relating to pre-construction stage. Here we have three main sections. On the left-hand side, you see what is called a site map. In the middle, you see what is a list of leads. And on the right-hand side, you have the actual lead record. And then on top of that, there is a flow of where the process stage is in connection with the sales cycle. Circling back on our requirements to create trust, one thing we need to see is transparency. The other one we want to see is consistency. Let's just focus on these two attributes for now. So transparency, we want to be able to have the opportunity for every single team member to see what everybody else is doing, where they are in the journey across the data collection or task execution stage. From that point of view, the standard framework that we're trying to build out right now is being able to allow every single data set to be able to surface on this particular record. So every sales team member is able to see who made a change, who made what kind of a change. In the middle of the page here, in the middle section, you're going to be able to see all the communications that went out to the customer. So this covers off the communication. So everybody's able to see all types of communications that went to the customer. Here is all the contact information. Here's a list, and here's the sitemap, and here's the business process. By organizing this consistently across the entire system, every single user, when they get into the system, they know, they're familiar with what is being done by every single player, and they're able to see that there's a consistent way the information is laid out. Let's move on to another screen where, so this is a dashboard. This is a dashboard system. Again, this gives you how that accuracy has been set up across all the different projects. So how transparency is set up across every single project. So every single project and where they stand, where every single project stands in comparison with the other projects from a revenue point of view, and also in terms of client quality point of view. Again, we have our sitemap here. We have this piece of information laid out across the screen. Now, this is a dashboard. This is a variation from the previous screen, but there is that consistency in terms of how information is being laid out. Another step here is how you can describe your project information. So project, again, so we're structuring all the key pages for the user on the left-hand side. And then in the middle, again, here's a list of projects, and then here is the project detail itself. And then if you scroll down, this is a screenshot. I'm not going to be able to scroll down, but if you do scroll down, you'll be able to see the communications hanging in the middle. Here's another example. This is again timesheets. So how all the timesheets look like when you're viewing them as a list. The reason why I'm showing the system is mainly because the requirements that we've looked at for creating trust, mainly consistency, accuracy, transparency, all of these can be achieved to a certain degree across the business process using systems that have a controlled design incorporated in them. We will continue to explore further. We have a team dedicated at Blackwater Tech. We are constantly looking at what kind of different methods that are surfacing in the industry on a regular basis and how we can make the future of design a lot better. We'll keep you looped in through our research publications. If you're still looking to learn more about how trust is applied how trust is perceived from a management point of view, have a look at this book called Trust Works. In this book, pretty much most of the popular philosophy or popular speak around building trust across teams and organizations is captured. Also, this book gives you a very a simple way of understanding it. It's quite laid out in parables and stories, kind of a structure. So it's an easy read, but I totally recommend it. Thank you for joining us today. You're welcome to stay in touch as I will be exploring more on this. We are actively working to set up how we can evolve the framework that we use for design. Our goal is building systems across complex business processes that achieve actual real value or real life results. Trust is one area that we are kind of focusing at the moment. We want to amplify trust across business and organizations, and we want to be able to see how best we can utilize systems to be able to achieve that. So the fastest way to get in touch with me is through the email on the screen. It's connected in blackwater.tech. I will look forward to catching up with you properly again. Thank you.